Hey everyone, welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast.
On YouTube.
On YouTube. That's right. Today we're going to be diving deep into Polkadot.
DOT.
DOT. You got it. We've been hearing a lot about its potential for a massive comeback.
Yeah.
And some analysts are even predicting a 500% surge. So
Wow.
is the hype real? Is it all just smoke and mirrors? That's what we're going to be unpacking today.
Yeah, I think when you look at DOT and kind of where it's at right now, it's interesting because there's this prediction for this huge surge, but it has seen its fair share of struggles recently.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, Polkadot, this layer 1 blockchain known for its unique parachain structure,
Right.
hasn't really been performing as well as some of its rivals like Solana.
Right.
In fact, DOT dropped to $3.53 just this week, erasing any gains it had made since September 2024.
Right. Not exactly the kind of performance that screams 500% gains, right, at a first glance.
Yeah.
So what's fueling the optimism?
Yeah.
What could possibly justify such a massive rebound for DOT?
I think the key factor here is Polkadot 2.0.
Okay.
This is a major upgrade that's being hailed as the biggest change to the platform since its inception back in 2016.
2.0.
Yeah.
Okay, that definitely piques my interest, so.
Yeah, this isn't just a minor tweak. You know,
Right.
We're talking about a fundamental shift in how Polkadot operates.
What's changing? What are the big highlights?
So two major features really stand out: agile core time and elastic scaling.
Okay.
Agile core time is all about making life easier for developers.
Great.
It's going to provide affordable block space on demand,
Right.
which means that developers won't have to jump through hoops or wait in line to build on Polkadot.
So more power, easier access.
Yeah, think of it like adding a ton of extra processing power to handle a surge in demand,
Right.
like having parallel processors for your blockchain.
Got it. And what about this elastic scaling? How does that fit into the picture?
So elastic scaling is designed to supercharge the network's efficiency. It allows those parachains, which are essentially individual blockchains running in parallel within the Polkadot ecosystem,
Right.
to ramp up their block production and transaction capacity as needed.
Okay.
This means that the entire network can handle more transactions more quickly and adapt to changes in demand seamlessly.
So Polkadot 2.0 is aiming for more power, more efficiency, and a more welcoming environment for developers. That's a pretty ambitious combination.
It is.
But there's even more to this story.
All right.
I've heard whispers about this thing called the Joint Accumulate Machine,
Yes.
or JAM, as the cool kids call it.
The jam. Now, this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
It's set to replace the current relay chain and function as a roll-up chain.
Okay.
Instead of focusing on processing individual transactions, JAM prioritizes guarantees and assurances.
Guarantees and assurances.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to admit, that sounds a bit abstract. Can you break it down for us? What does this mean for developers building on Polkadot?
Essentially, it's about simplifying smart contract development. Think of it this way: building on Polkadot will become a lot like building on Ethereum.
Right.
Currently, developers need to secure a parachain slot through a complex auction process, which can be a major barrier to entry.
Yeah.
JMAM removes that barrier and lets developers build directly on Polkadot.
Okay.
This opens up a whole new world of possibilities, as it makes Polkadot a much more accessible and attractive platform for innovation.
So it's like they're rolling out the red carpet for developers with this jam.
Yeah.
But innovation needs fuel. And in the crypto world, that fuel is funding. Does Polkadot have the resources to back up all this ambition?
They absolutely do.
Sure.
Polkadot has put their money where their mouth is, committing serious resources to support the ecosystem.
Right.
We're talking about a $155 million treasury dedicated to funding projects, a $45 million prize pool specifically for developers working on the jam, and a $30 million program focused on decentralized futures.
Wow.
They're not just talking the talk, they're actively seeking out and investing in innovative ideas.
That's a serious commitment.
It is.
It sounds like they're building a launch pad for the next wave of blockchain innovation.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
But what about the market? Is there anything in the charts that supports this idea of a 500% surge?
Well, if we look at the technical analysis, things start to get pretty interesting.
Okay.
The weekly chart shows that DOT has been trading within a fairly tight range since 2022, bouncing between a support level around $3.53 and a resistance level at $11.85.
Okay, so a period of consolidation.
Right.
What's the story behind this price action? What does it tell us?
So this type of sideways movement can often indicate accumulation.
Okay.
Think of those big players, the institutional investors.
Right.
quietly buying up an asset over time,
Right.
which can create these periods of relatively stable price action.
Uh-huh.
It suggests that smart money may be seeing potential in DOT accumulating it at these lower levels before a potential breakout.
Interesting. So we've got whales potentially loading up on DOT under the radar,
Yeah.
a major platform upgrade on the horizon, and a network that's actively funding innovation.
Right.
Is that what's driving this bold 500% prediction?
It's all part of the equation for sure.
Okay.
But there's another technical signal that's really getting analysts excited.
Okay.
A triple bottom pattern has formed on the DOT chart.
Triple bottom. Now, that's a classic chart pattern.
Yeah.
It's a bullish reversal signal, right?
Exactly. And this particular triple bottom pattern has a neckline at $11.85.
Okay.
That same resistance level we talked about earlier.
Okay. So if DOT manages to break above that $11.85 neckline, that's when the fireworks could really start.
That's the thinking.
And the 500% target.
Right.
Where does that come from?
So analysts are pointing to the 50% Fibonacci retracement level,
Okay.
which sits around $30.
Interesting.
If DOT can break through those key resistance levels, $30 is seen as a realistic target.
Fibonacci levels, the golden ratio. Always fascinating to see how they play out in the markets. But hold on a second. Before we get too carried away with this 500% dream,
Right.
let's take a step back and consider the risks. Every investment has its challenges, and Polkadot is no exception.
Of course.
So let's get into it.
Yeah.
What are the potential pitfalls? What could derail this Polkadot rocket ship?
Yeah.
We'll be discussing all of that right after this part of CoinTalk Podcast, so stick with us.
So before we were talking about those ambitious predictions for Polkadot and, the exciting developments surrounding Polkadot 2.0, the jam.
And all this amazing stuff, but
Right.
we also have to acknowledge the risks, right?
Exactly. We don't want to get caught up in the hype without taking a hard look at the potential downsides.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's dive into those risks. What are some of the things that could prevent Polkadot from reaching its full potential?
What could derail this rocket ship?
Yeah, well, one of the biggest challenges for any blockchain platform
Right.
is competition.
Yeah.
The layer one space is getting crowded with new projects popping up all the time. We talked about Solana earlier,
Right.
which has been gaining a lot of traction
For sure.
due to its high transaction speed and low fees.
Right, Solana's definitely making waves, but it's not the only competitor Polkadot needs to worry about, is it?
Not at all.
Who else is out there?
Ethereum, the biggest player in the smart contract space, is also evolving.
Right.
They're undergoing major upgrades to address scalability and efficiency issues, which could make Ethereum even more attractive to developers and users.
Right.
So Polkadot isn't just competing against the new kids on the block, it's also going up against a giant that's constantly improving.
That's a tough battle to fight.
Yeah, it is.
So how does Polkadot plan to stand out in this crowded and competitive landscape?
I think Polkadot's unique selling proposition is interoperability.
Okay.
Remember those parachains we were talking about earlier?
Right.
They're like individual blockchains that can communicate and share data seamlessly within the Polkadot ecosystem. It's like building bridges between different crypto islands, which is something that most other blockchains can't do.
So it's not just about speed or transaction fees. It's about creating this interconnected network of blockchains.
Right.
It's about building a truly decentralized web where different platforms can work together.
Exactly.
That's a pretty compelling vision.
It is.
But is that enough to convince developers and users to choose Polkadot over the alternatives?
Well, that's the key question, right? While Polkadot's technology is impressive, adoption ultimately comes down to building a vibrant ecosystem. They need to attract developers to build innovative applications and users to actually use those applications. And that's where things get a little tricky.
So what are the hurdles when it comes to adoption? What are the things that could hold Polkadot back?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is developer adoption.
Okay.
Ethereum has a massive head start in this area.
Yeah, they've been around forever.
They have a huge and active developer community, a vast library of tools and resources, and years of experience. Polkadot needs to convince developers to leave that familiar ground and venture into a newer, less established ecosystem.
So that's a challenge.
It is.
Sure.
So it's like asking someone to move from a bustling city to a promising but still developing town.
Right.
There's potential there, but it takes time and effort to build those same amenities and opportunities.
And attracting users is just as important, right?
Absolutely.
Because if there aren't compelling applications to use,
Right.
developers won't have an incentive to build on the platform in the first place.
Exactly.
So Polkadot needs to foster a thriving ecosystem of dApps, services, and use cases that attract a wide range of users.
Right. And that's the challenge, right?
Yep.
It's a chicken and egg situation.
Right. You need developers to build applications to attract users, but you also need users to incentivize developers.
Exactly.
Sounds like a tricky balance to strike.
It definitely is. And then you have, the kind of those external factors like regulation.
Yeah.
Governments around the world are still figuring out how to approach cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. And we've seen everything from cautious exploration to outright bans.
Right.
So Polkadot, like all crypto projects, is navigating a constantly shifting regulatory landscape.
That's true. The regulatory landscape is a big question mark for the entire industry.
Absolutely.
And what about security? We're talking about interconnected blockchains here.
Right.
Doesn't that make Polkadot more vulnerable to attacks?
Well, security is always a top concern in the blockchain world.
Yeah, for sure.
Polkadot has designed its architecture with security in mind.
Yeah.
Each parachain has its own security measures, and the relay chain acts as a central hub validating and securing transactions across the entire network.
So it's like a layered security system.
Yeah.
With multiple checkpoints and safeguards in place.
Right.
But no system is perfect, right?
Right, and that's the point.
Yeah.
No matter how well designed a system is, there's always the possibility of vulnerabilities being discovered.
Right.
The key is to constantly monitor, update, and adapt to stay ahead of potential threats. That's true for Polkadot, for Ethereum, for any blockchain platform out there.
That's true. This is all really fascinating stuff, and it's great to get a deeper understanding of the challenges Polkadot faces as it tries to achieve its ambitious goals. But I have to ask, with all these potential roadblocks, are you still optimistic about Polkadot's future?
Yeah.
What makes you believe in its potential?
You know what excites me about Polkadot is its vision for the future.
All right.
The potential it holds for a truly interoperable blockchain ecosystem.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where different blockchains can seamlessly communicate and share data.
Right.
Where developers can build applications that leverage the strengths of multiple platforms.
It's like breaking down those walls between different crypto silos, creating a more interconnected and collaborative space.
Exactly.
That's definitely a future worth striving for. But how does Polkadot plan to achieve that vision? What are the concrete steps they're taking to build this interconnected future?
Well, one key initiative is the substrate framework.
Okay.
Which makes it easier for developers to create their own custom blockchains that are compatible with Polkadot.
Okay.
It's like providing a set of building blocks that developers can use to create their own unique parachains, knowing they'll seamlessly integrate into the larger Polkadot network.
So it's like giving developers the tools to build their own Lego creations.
Yeah.
But with the guarantee that those creations will fit together and interact with the larger Lego universe.
Yeah.
That's a pretty powerful concept.
It is, and it's not just about technology.
Okay.
Polkadot is also fostering a strong community around its project, with initiatives like grants, hackathons, and educational resources to support developers and entrepreneurs building on the platform.
Right.
They're creating a collaborative environment where people can connect, learn, and innovate together.
So it's not just about building a platform.
Right.
It's about building a movement.
Yeah.
It's about creating a community of passionate individuals who believe in the potential of Polkadot's vision.
Exactly. And that's what makes Polkadot so intriguing.
Yeah.
It's not just another blockchain trying to be the fastest or the cheapest. It's about building something bigger, something more interconnected and collaborative.
All this talk about Polkadot has me really curious to learn more, but before we dive even deeper, let's talk about some of the specific projects being built on Polkadot and get a glimpse of what this interconnected future might actually look like. Welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast.
Yeah.
Before we left off, we were getting really excited about Polkadot's potential to create this interconnected blockchain future.
Right. This web of interoperable platforms.
Working together.
Yeah. It's a vision that has a lot of people excited, including myself.
For sure. But vision without action is just a daydream.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the concrete steps Polkadot is taking to make this vision a reality. What are some of the specific projects being built on Polkadot that showcase this interoperability in action?
Well, I think one of the most promising areas is DeFi, or decentralized finance.
Okay.
Polkadot's parachain structure is ideal for building DeFi applications.
Right.
Because it allows different specialized chains to connect and interact, So, for example, you could have one parachain focused on lending and borrowing,
Right.
another on stable coins, and yet another on decentralized exchanges.
So it's like creating a financial ecosystem where different pieces fit together seamlessly, each specializing in a particular function, but all working together within a larger interconnected system.
Exactly. And that's what we're starting to see emerge on Polkadot. Projects like Akala, which is building a DeFi hub with a stablecoin and a decentralized exchange, and Moonbeam, which is making it easy for Ethereum developers to bring their applications to Polkadot, are paving the way for a truly interoperable DeFi ecosystem.
So we're already seeing real-world applications of this interoperability concept. It's not just a theoretical idea, it's actually happening.
Right, and it's not just DeFi. Polkadot's interoperability has implications for a wide range of industries, from supply chain management to gaming to identity verification.
So this interconnected future isn't just about financial applications. It's about transforming the way we interact with data and technology across all sorts of industries.
That's the exciting part.
Right.
The potential is vast, and we're really just scratching the surface of what's possible with this kind of interoperability.
All this talk about Polkadot's potential is incredibly exciting, but let's bring it back to you, the listener. What does all this mean for you? Why should you care about Polkadot and its vision for an interconnected future?
Yeah, that's the most important question.
Right.
At the end of the day, technology is only as valuable as the problems it solves and the benefits it brings to people's lives.
Right. So how does Polkadot's vision translate into real-world value for individuals? What are the potential benefits for everyday users?
Well, for one, Polkadot's focus on interoperability could lead to a more user-friendly and accessible blockchain experience. Imagine a world where you don't have to switch between different wallets and platforms to access different blockchain services. With Polkadot, all of those services could potentially be accessed through a single unified interface.
That would be a game changer.
Yeah.
No more juggling different wallets and passwords, just a seamless experience across different blockchain applications.
Exactly. And it's not just about convenience. Interoperability could also unlock new possibilities for innovation and value creation. Imagine developers being able to combine the strengths of different blockchains to create entirely new applications and services that weren't possible before.
That's the exciting part. This interconnected future could unleash a wave of creativity and innovation, leading to entirely new products and services that we can't even imagine today.
And as those new applications and services emerge, they could create new economic opportunities, new ways for people to earn a living, and new ways to participate in the digital economy.
So it's not just about technology for technology's sake. It's about empowering individuals, creating new opportunities, and building a more inclusive and accessible digital world. That's a vision I can get behind.
It's a vision that a lot of people are excited about, and Polkadot is at the forefront of this movement towards a more interconnected blockchain future.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive into the world of Polkadot.
Yeah.
We've covered so much ground, from the recent price struggles to the exciting developments surrounding Polkadot 2.0 and the jam, from the challenges of competition and adoption to the potential for a truly interoperable blockchain future. Are you still as excited about DOT as you were when we started?
I am.
As am I. So as always, we encourage you to do your own research, stay informed, and form your own conclusions. Don't just take our word for it. Dive deep into the world of Polkadot and see for yourself what the future holds. And if you're as excited about Polkadot as we are, we'd love to hear your thought. Head over to the comments section on our CoinTalk Podcast YouTube channel and let us know what you think.
And while you're there, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and share this video with your crypto-curious friends.
We're on a mission to demystify the world of crypto, one deep dive at a time, and we appreciate you joining us on this journey.
Until next time.
See ya.